Hi, everybody. This is the baseball hype, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, Hyde, and welcome back to the baseball hype. Hopefully, you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So, as you know, the Mets have been kind of criticized for having a pitching staff that's not good going into the season, but they pitch really well. They have one of the lowest ERAs in the National League and have one of the lowest bullpen ERAs in baseball. And one of the players that they picked up this offseason was former Yankee Luis Severino, who had been an ace on their staff for a few years. And he's been able to sort of, he struggled the last few years with injuries. The word was last year that he was tipping his pitches. And now he is sort of reemerged. The one thing about pitching, as you know, if you're watching this channel, you know how pitching is. You can find pitchers anywhere. You can find a good pitcher anywhere. He'll come out of nowhere. Jacob deGrom is the best example. He was a guy that was considered a middle reliever. But sometimes a pitcher who's been great in the past can reemerge a few years later. And we might have that on our hands with Luis Severino. Hopefully we can keep him healthy. Let's keep him on the field, keep him on the mound. And he's not tipping his pitches. But read this article from SNY, written by little Andy Martino. And we're talking about what's going on with Severino. Headline: How Mets' Luis Severino, self-described worst pitcher in baseball, began to reclaim his career. As I lose my voice. It was one of the more memorable self-assessments to come out of the locker room last year. When Luis Severino, after allowing 9 runs to the Orioles on July 30th, said, "I feel like I'm the worst pitcher in the game." That candor, with intelligence, is one of Severino's defining characteristics, was in evidence again on August 9th, when the White Sox scored 4 on him in 2 innings. Quote, "I'm just having the worst year of my life in baseball," Severino said that day. His stuff was still solid, his fastball firm, his velocity good, yet in some intangible but observable way, Severino seemed broken. Carlos Mendoza was there as a Yankees bench coach who had a seat in the dugout for most of his career. And he was there as Mets manager on Wednesday at Citi Field when Severino utilized his newly varied repertoire to defeat Pittsburgh and improve his season ERA. That you don't get this anywhere else. Me pronouncing names and pronouncing words, you don't get this anywhere else. And I kind of emphasize stupidity here. And improve his ERA to 2.1 for us to keep it serious. I'm sorry, I go off on these tangents. I'm trying to entertain as well as inform. More entertaining than inform. What was the biggest difference between Severino? Are you not entertained? No, you're not, because that's why not too many people subscribe. But those of you who do subscribe, hit that subscribe button now. What was the biggest difference between Severino 23 and the Severino we're seeing right now? Well, it's funny you should ask. Let me see. Confidence, Mendoza said. He is staying on the attack. Severino seemed to agree. He must be down. Last year, I would have no confidence in myself, he said. Everybody in his career has a tough year. I learned from that year and came into this year with a better mentality. Beyond the emotional component of his game, Severino Mendoza pointed to several more tangible improvements. For years, Severino was a power pitcher, making use of his high-velocity slider along with his fastball. Over the winter, he worked the driveline baseball, the facility responsible for helping make many players wiggle out of a down portion of their careers. There he split his hard slider into a cutter and a sweeper. Neither was as powerful as the old slider, but the two offerings combined to show hitters different speeds and different looks. Mendoza likes the new mix better. Everything was hard, the manager said. Now he's getting more depth. One of the great mysteries of Severino's 2023 season was that his fastball averaged 96.5 miles per hour. Plagued in previous years by injury, he was actually healthy and strong, and yet his ERA was 6.65. Oofa. After Wednesday's game, Severino offered insight into that pitch, why it is playing better than it did last year. 97 to 14 to 17 is not the same as 95 to 96 at 20 or 19. He said, making heavy use of pitching jargon that we will explain momentarily. That 19, that 20 is hardest to hit. Neither this writer, little Andy Martino, nor most of his readers knew what that meant, but a Mets staffer helped to clarify. He is talking about hop, vertical, brake ride, the helpful Met explained. Knowing that the number of Severino cited is not available on the popular website baseballsavant.com, but does flash on the Citi Field scoreboard after every pitch. The ball staying flatter, finding gravity more, thus deceiving the hitter. In other words, Severino has added ride to his velocity, creating a more powerful fastball. Played off his new cutter sweeper mix, which features variances in speed and a changeup and sinker that helps him get ground balls, and Severino looks like a more complete pitcher. There's one other factor, not a small one, that plays into both Severino's effectiveness and his confidence pitch tipping, and the apparent lack thereof. As a Yankee, Severino was one of the most egregious tippers in the sport. One Yankees insider estimated that Severino has struggled with no fewer than 10 tells over the years. Wow. The most glaring of which was showing the ball to base coaches. I mean, showing the dirt base coach, hey, throwing a fastball. And throwing a fastball. That's what he's doing. Probably holding the glove, instead of holding the glove like this, I guess, probably holding more like this. You could probably see him, mixing the ball in his hand. In a quiet moment on Wednesday, after the scrum around his locker dispersed, Severino said that he believed he had cleaned up that part of his game. Every game, I ask our guys if they see anything, and they say no, he said. And so he's able to perceive a cleaner delivery, a clearer mind, and a more effective mix of pitches. And none of those intrusive thoughts about being the worst pitcher in the game. Well, that's good. We don't see him feeling bad. We don't see him feeling bad that he's a bad pitcher. He's been a good pitcher his whole life. But injuries, and of course, stop telling the other team what you're throwing, man. What's the matter with you? You shouldn't be doing that. That's not a good thing. Well, you let me know what you think about this video, of course. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut. We have memberships here. We have a store here. Ready for business. So thank you for watching. And I'll see you later.